So by now, you know that I don't shy away from telling you exactly what I'm all about. I am very, very aware that the content that I put out there may not be so appealing to certain people that want to maintain a narrative. So in that vein, I'll tell you this. If they're going to watch me, I'm going to watch them too. If you have your things public, I'm going to watch you too. Hey, I need to know what the other side is doing so that I can effectively make my own counteractive strategy. Okay, so there's no shame in my game. Yes, you watch me as an enemy, I'm going to watch you too. All right, so one of the people that I have dealt with, and I use these personal anecdotes to effectively show you that you're not alone. If you've gone through the same type of thing, so have I. Okay, there's really no difference between you, the listener, and me, the host. So the other day, this very, very outspoken, quote-unquote, feminist, Karmic, that I had dealt with. And if you know anything about Karmics, those of you that are familiar with my spiritual work know very, very well that I do readings to find out what the Karmic is attempting to do. It's all strategy and counter strategy, okay? This is a war that we're fighting, okay? It's their side against our side. So I had seen that this person that's going to be 32 at the end of this month, as of the date of this podcast, in April of 2024, I saw that she had some misgivings about her sister potentially dating an older man. Her sister is 22 and this person is 31. She's going to be 32 on April 29th, okay? So she effectively was saying, oh, I don't trust this guy. Just because you've had terrible luck with men, don't project into your sister's potentiality for being happy in love. Now, before she deleted the post, because this girl has kind of verbal diarrhea, of course I got a screenshot of it, okay? And now I have effectively exposed this woman before, and it resulted in her leaving YouTube. And she claims it was bullying. When you're talking against people and you are effectively doing things against those people and you're in the same industry of people that are doing the same type of work, and that person came before you and you come in a year later trying to steal the thunder, trying to steal all of what the other person laid down before you, instead of paying homage and paying respect, you effectively were trying to compete, and not only compete, but take over and dominate. I had seen that she had these misgivings about this guy. And just because, tell me this, if you're a psychic and you claim to have a great intuition, how come you keep on picking the same types of guys that do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again to you, but then you want to blame all guys and put them all in the same barrel? And meanwhile, you were talking shit about younger women, calling them moldable and easily manipulable and all of these things. Your own family, your sister is 22, you're 31, you've already hit the wall, okay? You see that this guy wants your younger sister, okay? He's older than her, they work together. She's 22. I don't know how old the guy is. I would assume that he's either late 30s, early 40s, maybe older than that. Okay, I don't know. I don't know the specifics. She didn't get into that. But the jealousy was extremely venomous and dripping in every word of that post that she essentially deleted. But guys, you know that my screenshot trigger finger is very, very fast, so I got it. And everybody's telling her, look, she's a grown woman, she's over 18, be there for your sister, but allow the guy to have a chance to prove himself. It didn't seem to support what she was saying, and it made her look, she's very, very overly hyper conscious of how she looks on social media, online. So she effectively removed the post. Of course, like I said before, I got the screenshots of what she originally posted. But the reason why I'm bringing this up and bringing her up, she's just a glaring example of the things that people like me that expose the Karmics, the Jezebels, for what they are. This particular person seems to be like a spokeswoman. She has that spokeswoman energy for that type of person. This is why I reference her a lot. And I'm kind of like mulling this over. I'm like, you talk all this shit about men, then in the same breath you're seeing the timeline, how you're talking shit about men, and then you want to talk about, oh, a woman should be like this to a man. Meanwhile, you've openly admitted, and I have that screenshot too, just how fearful you are that you're going to die alone. And something in the potentiality of your sister's budding relationship, which, by the way, the parents approve of, okay? You're the only one that doesn't approve of it. Why don't you realize you're the X factor here? If you did the same thing to your brother, okay, now you want to do the same thing to your sister. You're the X factor here. You're the one that wants a highly spiritual relationship so badly, but you're willing to inject your projections on the potential budding romances of your siblings just so that you don't feel isolated and lonely by comparison, because you're constantly comparing yourself to other women, including your own family. So you see this potentiality, you market this as, oh, I'm just a concerned older sister. Then why did you delete the post? Because people are basically telling you you're projecting. Even people in your own spiritual community that are karmics like you, or your own karmics, are telling you, let the girl live. If you've done anything to help her as an older sister, then she should be smart about this, right? You don't trust her own intelligence. Because in the post she said, she's saying, I'm going to be married with, and have kids, by 25 or whatever. And it did something to her, because all of that by 25, and here she is over 30, with as much money as she has and as much popularity as she has. You're still living in your mama's house. Mommy and daddy's house, because both parents are alive. You're still living in your parents' house. And this money that you're supposedly saving, all we see is all of that money going to tattoos on your body and this and that and the other thing. Like, and that's fine, that's your money. Well, I mean, supposedly, you stole a lot of things, but it's up to the divine to straighten all that out. That's not really up to us. We know it. It's up to God to straighten everything out. The last shall be first, the first shall be last. Don't forget that. Okay, that still applies. But the jealousy doesn't just extend to people online or potential competition. This extends to under her own roof. She's not willing to see her sister happy, because she made bad choices. She thinks that this guy is going to be a bad choice. Now, don't get me wrong. I did a reading on this too. And she said that she did a reading on this too. And even openly admitted that she didn't see any red flags in the reading. But then where are these projections coming from? Your mental illness, which she has said that she suffers from mental illness. So this person with mental illness is doing readings for people, telling them and doling out love advice when she has no success in love herself. Doling out the same quote-unquote love advice to other people because she does not want to see anybody else happy in love. It's the one thing that's not material. Okay? Love relationships are all handled by the divine. Okay? There are contracts that we sign before we come here. Okay? And if you're trying to force something into your life, but you haven't done any of the work to atone and acknowledge anything that's lacking in you, and you externalize everything, oh, it's the man, it's the man, it's the man, that feminist propaganda is not going to get you married, sis. And here, the fresh potential in your sister is so glaringly obvious, and you want to destroy it. There was one person on there that said, oh yeah, you got to do work on that. And before, it actually gets, and I'm ad-libbing here, before it goes any further, you got to do work on that. So these are fellow witches telling this witch, a self-proclaimed witch, she calls herself a brujita, okay, to basically separate these two people. Like, when are these women going to realize that their formula is not working? Their equations, the maths that they have done to acquire this high value man is not working. You're still alone. You got all this money. You got all this popularity, but how are you popular? And who are you popular with? You're popular with the people that are just like you. Because there's more women like her than there are women like us. The traditional men are looking for the traditional women. How are you going to be an alpha woman and look for an alpha male? It doesn't work. It cancels itself out. It's like oil and water. So, anyway, that was my 2 cents, my editorial for today. If you are sour about being alone, try not externalizing everything and making it everybody else's fault. That's narcissism. And trying to see where you went wrong. Maybe the man is right in some aspects. It's like, you have a list of things you want. So the man is not supposed to have a list of things he wants? It doesn't work that way, baby. It's not all about what you want and having the man bend to your will, okay? What you want is a world full of male simps. That's what you want. And men are waking up in droves. They're either leaving you women altogether, going to another country to find a wife, okay? Or calling you out for your bullshit. They're not afraid to speak up anymore. And I'm here for it. So until next time, guys, follow for more. And if you agree, give me a follow. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug.